Welcome to New Jersey Capitol Report. I'm Steve Audobato.
And I'm Rafael. According to Governor Chris Christie, the rising cost of pension and health care benefits for New Jersey's public employees is unsustainable and must be reduced. Is the governor right? Joining us now with his take on the issue is Ed Donnelly, president of the New Jersey Firefighters Benevolent Association. Ed, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rafael. Good to be here.
Great to have you, Ed.
Thanks, Steve.
Listen, why don't we do this? Health and pension issue been around a long time. Could we listen to the governor real quick? He's at a town meeting, I believe, in Long Branch, right, Jacqueline? He's at a town meeting, and he's talking about the cost of health care and public employee benefits, and have you come back and talk about it? The governor down at the Jersey Shore.
The bad news is there's still a $40 billion deficit in the pension fund. We will pay more for retirees' health benefits, public sector retirees' health benefits, than we'll pay for all of our active employees. Just look at the city of Detroit. I'm sure all of you read that in the last 6 months or so, the city of Detroit went bankrupt. And they went bankrupt because they had $2 billion in cash in Detroit and $11 billion in debt. Whenever government says to you, I'm going to take money out of your right pocket, but don't worry, I'm going to put more back in your left pocket, they always take the money out of the right, and the money doesn't always get into the left.
Let's talk. Your response to the governor.
Well, right off the bat, it bothers me a little bit that he's referring to New Jersey as Detroit, but we're not going to go there. You mentioned before about the cost of health care and its escalating costs. That's one thing that we believe, and we want to be a part of the process and a part of the answers or solutions.
You mean to lower the cost?
Curtailing the cost.
You agree with the governor
Absolutely.
saying it's unsustainable?
Switching the costs from employees to employers is not going to solve the cost of the rising, the problem of the rising cost of health care.
You mean the other way around, switching it from employers to employees?
Well, giving the, making it two pots now. It used to be just the employers, now it's the employees and the employers. So you're shifting it.
Right.
The problem is the rising cost in healthcare, and how can we curtail that and get that under control?
But
no one's addressing that.
But let me ask you that, Ed, to what degree? Because it's interesting, you get different kinds of public employees, and firefighters and police officers are often seen as different, because you do an extraordinary job. And by the way, on behalf of RAF, myself, and more importantly, everyone in public broadcasting, thank you for the work you do.
Thank you, sir.
Do you think that you guys should be treated somehow differently when it comes to these issues because of the work you do?
Well, I don't per se we should be treated differently, but there was always an unwritten rule that we lived by. We're putting ourselves out there for the citizens of New Jersey, getting sick, sometimes dying for the citizens of New Jersey, and we're always under the impression and always under the belief that we would be taken care of in those times of need, whether on the job or after the job. Because after 25 years of service in the police department or the fire department, any public safety department, it takes a toll on your body, on your brain, on your heart. It's just
and you think that unwritten understanding has broken down?
Absolutely.
No longer exists?
You do?
Absolutely. I think that again, shifting the cost, whether it's we're paying up to 35% of our health care now. National average is nowhere near 35% of your health.
The firefighters are paying 35%?
Firefighters and police officers, public
35%?
35% of the premium of health care.
Wow.
Up to
the average is 16%, according to a recent study. So you pay twice as much.
You're figuring this is it. We're paying enough.
I say that's it. I say enough. We've been part of the no pain, no gain, no more pain from us.
But Ed, there are other unions that don't pay nearly as much as 35%. Is there a division among the labor unions? I mean, do you think it's fair that some of your fellow union members aren't paying 35%?
I don't know the ins and outs of all the other labor unions on what they're paying. I believe that everyone does go up. It's a sliding scale up to 35%. I know that we pay the most into our pensions. We pay 10% of our salaries into our pensions. No other public worker in New Jersey pays what police and firefighters pay.
And you said earlier that shifting the cost from the employer to the employee doesn't reduce the cost, and that's obviously true. But on the other hand, the employer here is the taxpayer. Mm-hmm. And therefore, it does reduce the amount of taxes that non-public employees pay. So it does make a big difference.
And that's the conversation we want to start having. And that's why we're introducing this new PR campaign.
Talk about this PR campaign.
In September. It's called New Jersey Property Tax Facts.
Say it again. New Jersey Property Tax
Facts.org.
Jacqueline, can we put it up, please? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
NJPropertyTaxFacts.org. And what that is going to show...
Doesn't roll off the tongue, but...
No, it needs...
What's it supposed to do?
What it is this. We've thought that the one thing that New Jersey residents are upset about is property taxes.
Right.
And we as firefighters, are upset about it as well.
Sure,
We're property taxpayers as well. So we want to show the correlation to the average property tax that you pay in your municipality to the cost that you get for the fire service, career fire and EMS service in that municipality. And when we started working with our PR campaign company, we started really raising eyebrows, and people started looking. When you see in a municipality like Ocean City, where the average taxes are $5,000 a year, $300 pays for career fire and EMS service, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We also want to show how that relates to other municipalities. So what you're able to do on this website is go into your county and then click on your town, and you're going to be able to pull up your information for your respective
Right now, by the way, the
municipality.
website's up throughout the entire segment. Someone goes on right now, no matter what town, I guess 556 or 57, 566, well, it may have changed in the last hour, number of municipalities in New Jersey. But if you go on, you find your town.
Yep.
You can find out the percentage of the total tax base, right, and what we're paying for, the community's paying for
Fire
firefighter
service.
protection?
Absolutely.
Why did you and your colleagues think that was so important?
Because it's so minimal. It's minimal for the cost of the service that you're getting from us, and it's so important for the public to realize, for the minimal cost, the amount of service that you're getting, the firefighters, the police officers, public safety cannot give back anymore.
What, a PR campaign to do this?
I got to.
Well,
Did you think to yourself you're going to be involved in a PR campaign?
Listen, I got to do what I got to do.
It's information. You're getting people
get
out
our
information.
message out there.
Now, Ed,
interesting.
The governor, as you know, we're shooting August 26th. We don't know what's going to happen by the time this airs. But the governor convened a panel of experts to talk about reforms of the pension and health care system.
Yep.
We don't know what they're going to propose, but one of the things John Bremnick,
Assembly Minority Leader,
told us here on this show that they're looking to is give new hires, new public
Yes.
employees 401ks. Not you guys, but the guys that are hired after you. Do you think that's viable?
I want to see what this committee comes up with. We've still been waiting for months now from the governor to give us what his plan is. He hasn't given to us. We've asked repeatedly to meet with him. He still refuses to meet with the firefighters. I can say this, the first time in 5 years we've actually entered the governor's office. Last month I met with some of his council, which is the first time again in 5 years.
So there's some progress.
Very little, but we know what's going to come out of this blue panel ribbon of...
How do you know?
Because we know the governor's behind it.
Now, what is it?
Why wasn't labor involved?
Yeah.
Why wasn't the legislature involved? It's 9 people that he handpicked that
But
he
some are
says.
Democrats and some are
I
Republicans.
And they're
understand that.
experts, nonpartisans. They
But
don't
say
have
they
a dog in the fight.
Listen, back in 2009, when then Governor Cody did this this panel,
ribbon thing, yeah, the
he
blue ribbon
looked
thing.
at something. The first thing that was the recommendation was put the money in and keep it in.
Oh, that's great to say, but most governors didn't do it.
But
They
listen-
didn't put the money in the pension
But
fund.
Steve, now listen, in 2011,
Time's running out. Go ahead,
we
Ed.
went from 8.5% to 10% of our salaries into our pension. That money equated to $54 million that firefighters put into the pension system. This administration took that money out again.
All right, Ed.
Hey,
You know,
can you
unfortunately-
promise us you'll come back?
Yeah,
Keep this conversation going. And by the way, real quick, the name of the site again?
njpropertytaxfacts.org.
Got it.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Ed, thank you
Thanks
so
again
much.
for everything you're
Thank you so much.
Stay right there.
Stay there.
Thank you.
You know, recently Steve spoke with Wendy Sykes, director of the Orange ACA Navigator Project, about getting the word out on the Affordable Care Act. Here's that conversation.